Hi, my name is Venus O'Hara and welcome to another video. Today I thought I would talk about self-love. It's so important. It's so important, in fact, and I'm actually going on a more profound self-love journey at the moment that I might reveal in a few weeks. But in general, in my mission in life to raise orgasmic awareness, I also try to encourage others, especially people I know personally, to take more care of themselves and to have more self-love in general. And as far as the orgasms are concerned in my work, I think for me, when I see that someone starts to consider their sexuality and their orgasms as a priority and see how that transforms their lives, especially women, it makes me so happy because that's how it was for me, and I want to share the wisdom of becoming orgasmic with others. But I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on. Today I'm going to share with you eight different ways to show yourself some self-love, and it's so important, so important. I think for me, over the last few months when I've been meditating, etc., I've really focused on career, abundance, finances, when actually I should be going really lower to a more basic level to self-love, to actually really accepting myself more and treating myself better. Because when you have the self-love base, then I think more things are possible. It's very, very, very important. So one of the first things I do for self-love is that I eat well, and that's something I like to share with other people. I'm a high raw vegan, but I understand that not everyone wants to be vegan. But in general, people around me tend to become more plant-based and tend to make better decisions with their food and what they are consuming. For example, it's not just about being vegan for me. Also, I like to eat organic food and locally produced food as much as possible. The taste is different. I remember a few months ago I went to a new supermarket, a cheap supermarket, and it seemed all amazing at the beginning. It was all shiny and new, and the prices seemed incredible. But then when you get home, the tomatoes are really hard, or it's just not as good. And they have an expression in Spanish which is buy cheap, buy twice. And I think that's so true. I think if you, for me, I think you have to be a bit clever if you want to get organic and tasty for a good price. And it's definitely possible. So that's something I try to do is to eat organic and have lots of superfoods. And something I absolutely love is hemp seeds, for example. So I'm always trying to I always invest in my health. I think it's very important. Yeah, so let's have a sip of tea. Amazing organic tea. And exercise. I think exercise is really important, all different types of exercise. You don't have to be into the gym. I wasn't into the gym at all until a few years ago. I used to think about all the hygiene issues and sweat, etc. I don't like changing rooms. I feel very self-conscious in them. However, 3 years ago I started going to the gym, and it's completely changed my life. And I think it really promotes a good relationship with your body, and not just for aesthetics but for strength and just day-to-day things. For example, I now can carry all my shopping up loads of flights of stairs with no problems. That's really good. And also I think it really promotes a good relationship with your body in general, and it helps you to have more body confidence, which is really, really, really important. Okay, and also you don't have to go to the gym. I mean, you can do yoga, you can walk and do hiking. I think it's important to have some physical exercise every day, and it helps you just be more mindful and more present in your body. And of course, sex is a good way to burn calories as well. Another thing, what did I write here? Consume. Okay, so other things that you're consuming as apart from food. I think it's important to feed your mind, for example, with books. It's very, very, very important. And also, I've personally, I didn't read for many, many years because I was writing so much myself. I didn't want to have any influence. But now I'm not writing books anymore for now. I've started to be very interested in reading, and I just want to read so many books right now, but I'm not interested in romantic novels or anything like that right now. And I mean, those kind of things might have been entertaining for me years ago, but now I'm thinking I want to learn as much as possible. And and I'm really into personal development at the moment, and I'm currently reading Power versus Force. I'm so excited about it. I know that books can change your life, and it can really change your focus, and you can learn so much. So I'm going to be very selective, and the next few books that I've got on my list are going to be very exciting as well, and I'll share them with you when I get them, as and when. And also, I don't have a TV for the last 15 years. I think that's very important to think about how much time you're spending sitting on a sofa watching terrible television. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you can watch some good documentaries, but it's not really enlightening television. And I think for me, I like to really watch content that I know that is helping me grow and helping me evolve in the subjects that I'm particularly interested in. So yeah, so I think that's very important as well. So sometimes I do have my low vibration moments, but I'm very aware of them when they occur. For example, when I go on maybe a low vibrational newspaper site just to see what's going on, and I'm very conscious that what I'm doing is low vibration, but I try to make everything as high vibration as possible. And also this applies to music. I used to really love kind of really upbeat, I still like upbeat, motivating pop music, but now that I've discovered binaural beats and other types of music, more relaxing music, and also about frequencies and how they affect our bodies and our minds, I'm a lot more mindful about what I'm listening to now as well. So I try to listen to music that accompanies my activity. For example, I like to listen to binaural beats if I'm cooking, because I think, oh, this energy is going into the food that I'm preparing and then consuming. Or for example, certain music in the morning or at night time when I'm in my relaxed mode, or even for reading as well, or even for writing and just concentrating. I listen to binaural beats with concentration frequencies, and then others with more relaxation frequencies. So depending on the moment. Oops, yeah, a little notification there. Okay, next thing, massage. I think any type of treatment is really important, like massage, facials, pedicures, manicures. I think it's really important to take care of your body and have a professional take care of your body as well. I think it's an incredible experience. I think going for a massage for me used to be an indulgence several years ago, and now it's something that's essential. I think it's really important. I would much rather spend my money on a massage than 3 bottles of wine, definitely. And I'd recommend massages to you if you don't do them very frequently. I think it's something that everyone needs to do. Is just to relax and let someone else take care of your tension wherever that may be. Okay, and now at the moment I'm going to try lots and lots and lots of different treatments. I'm really excited about that. And the next thing I'm going to do is I don't know how you call it in English, the craniofacial thing, which is the head, the face, the neck and the shoulders. So I'm really excited about that because most of my tension right now is in the back of my neck, so I think I need some healing hands there. Yeah. Okay, next thing, meditation. Meditation is changing my life, and I'm going to make a separate video about it. I've now meditated every day for the last 50 days, consecutive 50 days in a row. It's just, it's making me a lot calmer, and also every meditation I do is like an internal trip almost in my mind, and it's incredible all the different things that your mind is capable of. For example, sometimes I like to do meditations that are focused on intuition or abundance, self-love, gratitude as well, and I choose different meditations for different moments. I meditate every morning when I wake up, and then every night before bed as well. And sometimes I might do a couple of meditations. So I spend about an hour every day meditating, and it's really cool. And when things are kind of challenging happen to me, I'm like, yeah, whatever, I can deal with it. So yeah, I definitely recommend meditation. And another thing that's very important for self-love is the people you spend your time with. I've had a lot of naysayers in my life, or people that have just wanted to be around me for my contacts or my energy. I've attracted opportunists just from being an empath, I think, unfortunately. And I've had to say no and really distance myself from people that I can see around me who do not have my interests at heart. And sometimes it's very difficult to be ruthless with people that you might have known for a long time, especially if they are good friends, if you know people in common. But what I try to do is kind of limit my time with those people and not try and initiate contact, really. Just try and distance myself and make sure that the people that I'm around are those who are supporting of me and my whole life. So yeah, I think that's really, really, really important. Another thing about yeah, because I think I made a video a few months ago about toxic people, and it's always difficult to try and make that decision in your life and cut someone out of your life who's having a negative effect on you. But as time goes by, you realize that it was an act of self-love, because now when I think back to those toxic relationships that I've moved away from, I love myself so much now that I would not even accept those people anymore, or the circumstances in which we know each other. I don't know if that makes any sense, but there's certain circumstances that I just would not accept now, simply because I have distanced myself from them, and it's very, very important. So now when I'm spending my time with people, I make sure they are people who value me. It's very, very, very important, and who value me. So next thing, sexual well-being. Of course, that's so, so, so important, and that's one of the main reasons why I started blogging about sexuality in the first place, because I don't think people were placing as much importance on their own personal sexual journey. For example, someone wrote to me, or someone made a comment on my channel a few weeks ago saying that they loved my channel because other channels about sexuality were focused on how to please a man rather than the woman taking control of her own sexuality and just pleasing herself. And I think for me, that's definitely what my mission is. I think people should really prioritize their own sexual enjoyment and pleasure and sexual wellness. And you don't necessarily even have to have a partner to do that. I think it's very, very, very important to prioritize your self-love through masturbation. I think it's incredibly important. I know for me, it's absolutely changed my life, as I've shared many times in different videos, and I've seen how it has had a massive impact on other people's lives as well. So I think it's very important to prioritize your sexual enjoyment, and when you are with a person, once you do think that your own sexuality is important, then other people will think it's important as well, because you have to communicate it. You can't just expect someone to know. You have to make it important. For example, I remember one friend of mine was complaining about the sex that she was having, and all the blame was on the guy she was with. And I said, no, you have to demand the sex that you want. You know, you have to not just demand it, that might sound a bit harsh, but you have to make it known what you want. It's very, very, very important. For example, if you're in a restaurant and you order your favorite dish and it comes to you cold or in a way that's not how you expected, I mean, you're going to complain, you're going to do something about it. Well, you should do the same with sex. You should place more importance on sex than a meal in a restaurant. That's what I think. Okay, and I've actually forgotten one I'm going to add on at the end that I'm doing at the moment. Anyway, one more, hang on, two more. Another thing that I think is really important is self-acceptance and gratitude for who you are and everything. I think it's really, really, really important. So I think we don't accept ourselves enough. And something I'd forgotten from a previous point about things that we are consuming is also social media. I think social media can be a great tool, or it can be something that can be really bad for you. So it just depends how you use it. And I think if you follow accounts that inspire you, then opening Instagram should be an incredibly motivating experience. It shouldn't be something that makes you feel that you are less than what you are. I think that's really important. I think you should definitely limit your time on social media if it's having a negative effect on you, and only follow accounts that genuinely inspire you. And I think you have a very different experience than if you're opening up social media and seeing motivational quotes or there's things that make you want to get out of bed and really have a great day, you know, because that's not really the case with social media. It's like, oh my God, I'm not doing enough, I'm not enough. And that's usually what happens on social media. Yeah, and then last but not least, yeah, so gratitude. So we have to be accepting of who we are already. And I think just being grateful for all the things that we have is definitely an act of self-love. And last but not least, something that I'm working very hard on now, which is definitely I'm definitely seeing the benefits, is that I am learning to be tidy. I've always been messy throughout my whole life, and it's been something that's driven my family crazy and all the flatmates I've had in the past, so I'm very sorry to everyone who has suffered from my messiness. But I've suffered the most, actually, and sometimes it can be really, I mean, if a friend comes around, I'm panicking thinking, oh my God, it's such a mess, I'm going to be judged. And now, I think it was about 3 weeks ago, I decided to have a professional clean in my apartment, and then ever since I've been maintaining the order, and it feels, wow, the mental clarity is just unbelievable. And I think the key was for me was just getting all the things that do clutter my apartment out of the way, such as excess clothes, just get everything out to have a more kind of minimal appearance in the apartment. I just feel that I feel more motivated to work and to just be in my apartment. It's actually become more of a sanctuary now. And whereas a few weeks ago I was thinking, oh God, I want to move out. So now I'm feeling a lot more calm, and I would encourage anyone who is a bit messy to at least, you know, make your bed or do something like that, because if you think about it, if you have a guest coming to your apartment, you might, you should, if you're polite, you should actually make an effort and make sure it's nice for them. Well, you have to imagine that you are your guest, you know, so you have to prepare your environment to be good enough for you. And that is what self-love is all about. It's about saying that you matter. Okay, so I hope you found this video inspiring, and if you have any extra tips about self-love, I would love to hear them in the comment section below. And yeah, if you have any ideas for future videos about sex toys, orgasms, dating, self-love, orgasmic living, then please don't hesitate to contact me at venus@venusohara.org, or you can add me on Instagram at venusohara. Thanks for watching.